Whale Songs in the Aurora Borealis by Ronda, Eller, 2005, Part 2. Tempestuous Grace. The air pulses, beat upon by pale wings, like pastel on an unseen mortar, devising its own mutation. It curls around the tips as a spark without flame, forging itself against the ethers of silence, revealing itself not as a burning bush, but something more eloquent, the whisper of a heartbeat. It peaks again, catalyzed by wings turned dark in the shadow of a red moon, consummating the hearth. As an undercurrent, it breaks, bending the secondary feathers, hurling itself along a wing-spined highway, tumbling back upon the fire with heightened ferocity, nearly snuffed then doubled, incarnating a tumultuous life caged in a single solitary breath, rekindling tempestuous grace. Hippocrene Spring. All features debut in the looking glass, where yesterday's mask reappears. The mind on Pegasus' haunches rears, hearing its voice in a vision's kiss. To who will the jury's finger point when the cygnet's neck is soft and weak, and the musing white bird of Innisfree's floundering coursal memory lingers? Spring water forms a looking glass, when raised by filter forge it clear. There stands a cool park, emerald sear, with long legs swimming under mask. Will Pegasus betroth its wings, though golden bridles can't be found? Or will it drill hoof prints in swan-soul down to breed another Hippocrene Spring? That son of a Gorgon knows the truth, being bred itself in an errant mirror's gaze, that the mask can nourish terrible snakes. Yet in mirroring, all masks diffuse. The Muzzled Lion. Beneath long days the lion's anger burns, his furrowed mane announces his scorn. His dreams hold the scent of cold, raw flesh, and covetous memories of his wilderness nest. His eyes see dark, dark day, dark night. His regal claws forget unbridled flight. Lion's muzzle is his greatest obsession, as he twists and bites against oppression. With teeth grown soft from confounded use, he swallows the blood of his own abuse. And in his bondage, this terrible beauty seethes and despises all eternity. Remembrances in the Amphitheater. Alone upon the stage, I scan the vacant amphitheater. If only I could find you peeking out from behind one of these ancient marbled chairs, I would stay. Yet I know somehow that you are not here with me, because nobody is here. This is only a place I visit when I want to remember those days before the moon went dark, when the Corinthians folded butterfly hands and the funeral gate breathed its final gasp. They spent so long mourning their rent cocoons that when they finally raised their hands, an encore was too late. Perfectly centered beneath the canopy, trembling in the vacant amphitheater, I hear them resonating still, shuffling impatient feet and awaiting some platonic answer, but I know they are not here, because you're not here. Nobody is here. Not even me. Shoreline rush to placid lake. Behold, a woman stands upon the shoreline, an orchid wafting softly from her tresses, a fragrance matched in beauty by the dress that shapes an oral mist in my desire. The rambling brook inside me can't be pardoned for catching on her rose-soft, stony form, and longing by summer's eves to keep her warm, despite another woman's love I've harnessed. The white birds o'er the water form a halo that, if I knew not more, would be angelic. I savor vision as a sacred relic to carry home and tuck beneath my pillow. I'll set my wayward eye with it for dreaming, certain my affection's wrongly placed, longing for that tragic sweet embrace where weedy eyes, not orchids, will be gleaming. My rambling brook is forked, abrupt and winding, preferring shoreline rush to placid lake. Though heaven lies with lake, that gentle place where that lily lover face my mind's rejecting. I wonder why I seek love in wrong places. Why comfort is discomforting to me, knowing my own heart's flawed tragedy is ignoring all the good and friendly faces. Temporal things. I shun the likes of temporal things, like one who'd have me for a spell, and then again would have me now. That sees nude's eye now laid abed, would mortal and immortal wed. I shun the likes of temporal things. I curse the likes of temporal things, like one who'd conjure buoyant dreams of what was then and now might be, as if the mirror turned both ways, and Troy still owned triumphant days. I curse the likes of temporal things. I muse the likes of temporal things, like oracles in temples old, where goddesses were bought and sold. Those shapely, agile, hair-like vixens who found age, ransacked all their fixings. I muse the likes of temporal things. I dream the likes of temporal things, though each one's distant voice be heard, in wandering stags and ancient birds soaring through the emerald sky, where gyres spin and fairies sigh, framed by immortal panoplies, the sun, moon, earth, and restless seas. I dream the likes of temporal things. On heavenly stairs. In the quiet evening spaces, there are voices that hum like gentle wind, drifting through galaxies of feather-like airs that bid my mind to follow them there. Throughout the dark night sky I travel, buoyant and puffed out like a cloud, floating through asteroids alive, reflecting, inhaling the glimmer of 1,000 diamonds that dance with the sun on heavenly stairs. With each constellation my spirit erases a piece of the earth and the life I am in. My soul is cleansed pure with the salt of the oceans as I sample the skies with the seraphim. One life to end now, and one to begin, with a voice that hums like a gentle wind. This is the end of Whale Songs Part 2. Please continue for Part 3.